right. Let everyone pile in here for a second. I already see I got a couple people sitting in the chat. Let's see. I can live chat. Pop this out real quick. Can I do that? Anyway. Hey, how you doing? Okay. Getting this stuff all situated real quick. Cool. Come on. Stop being dumb. There we go. Yeah, so this did come out yesterday. Nice. So I did too. What's Dreamy Bull? Let me look this up. Is it on YouTube? Let's see. Dreamy Bull. Dreamy Bull. I don't know what that is. But safe search? That's not good. Anyway. All right. So yeah, Forrest came out with this this video yesterday, and we're going to go over it because I have some thoughts on it, but I haven't seen the whole thing. I only caught it like partway through. So we're going to go over this and see what all the hype is about. Do we really think that there's a new thylacine evidence? Let's find out. Oh, I should probably turn on my headset. That would be beneficial.
At least that's the email that I got from this guy named Henry just last week that we'll be digging into here shortly. This happens all the time. I get dozens of emails per week from someone saying they have evidence of a black panther, ivory-billed woodpecker, eastern mountain lion, you name it. And it's always either a case of mistaken identity for the wrong species or outright fraud. In this video, I'm going to take you through vetting one of these scenarios, a very compelling one that may indeed actually be legit. But first, let me explain what happened. About a week ago, a kid named Henry reached out, and Henry tells me that his buddy Zach and Zach's dad were on a road trip through Tasmania when they pulled over to help an injured dog that ends up being a thylacine. Now this story all seems like nonsense, except there are incredible photos that I'm going to show you guys here in a moment that my team and I are really having a hard time poking.
Yeah, the photos look really good. Kinda.
There are some major red flags. First of all, the guy's kind of odd, as you'll see. He doesn't want to be interviewed, he wants to cover up his face, and it was a whole process of talking him into being willing to even come on this Zoom, as you guys will see here shortly. In addition to that, he doesn't really remember his flight path. He named some weird cities. We asked him for follow-up information and photographs from the rest of his trip to Tasmania that he wasn't willing to provide.
Sorry, I'm changing the mic.
Very skeptical overall.
There we go.
These photos are so freaking good that I really wanted to outsource this.
That should be a little better, huh?
Crowdsourcing bullshit for you guys at home to take a look at. So the video I'm about to share with you guys is a little bit different. It's the full, raw, unedited phone call and interview so that you guys at home have all the facts that I have. Because this one is so crazy when you see the pics and how real they look. We want you, the viewer, to see everything that has happened, all the nuances, and maybe you guys at home can pick up on things that my team and I haven't. The whole thing
So,
is very curious.
I don't know if that was from the very beginning, like if he said this in the original video, because I'm assuming he did because when the video came out, it was a premiere. So, I don't... If that's how it was in the beginning and he went over this, awesome. Because when... You'll see in a little bit if you haven't seen this yet. It's interesting. As I said, I haven't seen the whole thing. They do look very good so far, but it's true it needs to be kept quiet. Why? I don't understand that argument. Why it needs to be kept quiet. The reason I say that is because if you keep it quiet, no conservation can really be done. If people know that it's there, it's not like people are going to go out and hunt it. This isn't a movie. If it's real and these things are alive, the effort, just the volume on his part is low. Can hear him clear, just the volume on his part is low. My volume is better, but I would now up the volume on that video a little bit. Okay, but yeah, so basically, there we go. That's up to a little bit more. So no, if it is real and it is alive, I would say 100% you need to let the world know, because then you could not hide it. And what I mean by that is, if it was real, the amount of effort that would go into conserving this animal now would be 10 times more than it is. I mean, people are wanting to look for it. I think that hiding it would not be good. It's hard because it's dark. This picture looks like something out of a horror movie. Like, that jaw is so crazy, but that's the point of it is that it's in very low light conditions and stuff gets grainy. So it almost looks like it could be CG. It almost looks, in some of these pictures, look too good, but at the same time, it's just like, it is low light. Low light does weird stuff.
The photos you're about to see are possibly legit. This would be the largest natural history discovery of our lifetime. So let me know what you think 100%. In the comments below, and let's get right into it. This photo's crazy.
Real quick, before I go any further, I know I've made a video about Forrest Galante in the past when he came out with the stuff talking about thylacine and wanting to go to Papua New Guinea, and like, I can't show you the pictures. I criticized him for that video and seeming like he was just trying to peddle money without showing actual evidence. I had a problem with that, as did a lot of people. I don't dislike Forrest Galante. If you're going to come out and want people to give you money, you have to actually... I see your point, but aren't there collectors? If the average Joe... if there's been so much effort to find these animals and no one's been able to find them, I seriously doubt you're going to have a collector that's going to be able to grab. It's just the chances of... This isn't a movie. Movies make it seem like that's what's going to happen. I'm sure there's somebody out there who would want that, but the second that one is captured, they'll probably put it in captivity to make sure that it's okay and try to do... especially if it was a female, I'm sure they would probably make some babies for it. Like, I think technology's at that point yet, or they'd at least try to clone it or something. But no, I don't think a collector would grab it.
Holy oh my god. First thing I'm going to do is read you the email that I got. So this is the email. Lazarus Species Photographs is the title. Good day, Forrest. I'm not sure if you will see this, but a friend of mine has had an up-close encounter with a thylacine in Tasmania this week and took some amazing photos of the animal, which to me unquestionably confirms the animal still lives on. They wish to remain anonymous, red flag number 1, but the road they were on during the encounter was somewhere on Upper Stowport at night, where he pulled over and saw it. There are several amazing and kind of creepy pictures of the animal caught in the flash of my buddy's torch. Didn't want to make this public, so yeah, I will eagerly await your feedback. I already contacted TAGOA, which is the Thylacine Awareness Group of Australia, for those listening, and they have yet to respond, and I am frankly not sure if they ever will. I hope you email me back so I can get the photos to you. Have a great day. Okay, couple things here. So it's his friend and not him, red flag number 1. Yeah. The friend wants to remain anonymous, red flag number 2.
Big red flag.
They've contacted TAGOA, which isn't a red flag, but it makes sense, but the story gets deeper. So I had Liam, who's on my team, reach out to this person, whose name was Henry, and say, hey, Henry, can you give me the details? Can you send the photos? And I'm going to show you guys the photos shortly. We went through kind of a roundabout way. Through Henry, we got the story.
I wish I had Forrest
That Henry's friend Zach and his dad were driving on Upper Stowport Road late at night when they saw something, pulled over, and sure enough got these photographs of a thylacine. Well, I said to this kid Henry, who's from Chicago, by the way, not Tasmania, red flag number 4. I said, Henry, I have to talk to the guy who got these photos. I can't hear this secondhand. If you guys want me to believe this story, I have to actually talk to someone. And I have all of the audio recordings of these phone calls, which we may add in here as we go, depending on how this interview goes. Now, I finally got a hold of Zach, who's the kid that has the encounter with the
Thylacines were Tasmania, why Australia? Well, thylacines used to be in mainland Australia. Tasmania has a very low population compared to Australia, so it's right there. It's not like it's too crazy different.
And he agreed to do a call, but still wants to remain anonymous while we talk about and review these photos. So first thing I'm going to do right now, and Zach doesn't know this is coming, is I'm going to call him and see if I can talk him out of being anonymous to show his face to give credibility. I've already asked him a lot of questions over the phone, which you may or may not hear if we include the audio recording in this video. But this is it, guys. This could be the first official sighting of the thylacine, if this holds up. So you guys are seeing this.
Yeah, right. It's not like there are any poachers out there that would absolutely want a prize like this. I just don't. You can make that argument all you want. I just don't think that something like this would be. If this was true, the amount of protection that it would get. How do I say this? I gotta tiptoe with how I'm gonna say this. Poachers in places like Africa, like continents like Africa. I know Africa's not a country. And like each individual country has its own separate thing. There's a lot of space. There's not that many people in certain parts of it. It's just a different world. And a lot of the places where poaching happens, the culture is completely different than it is in areas where they want to protect certain species. It's a different world. Tasmania and Australia, it's not the same type of situation as those other countries or places. I just don't think it's in the same. I don't think it would be as big of an issue. I really don't.
Live with me. We'll see what happens.
Oh, he actually talks to him on the phone, huh?
Hey, Zach, you there?
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, how are you?
Fine.
Oh, good, man. You're still good for our Zoom in a couple minutes here?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Sweet. So I just... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, I'm just checking my email to see if...
Oh, yeah, for sure. No, definitely. Skit night fobbity. Oh, my God, no. Skibbity. That's what it sounds like he's going to say. Like, he just has that tone to him, like a perpetually online guy.
Sent me the link for... Oh, you probably sent it to our phone number.
Liam should have sent you the link a couple days ago, I think. You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Sweet. And then Liam mentioned he wasn't sure whether or not you were wanting to show your face. Where are we on that?
No face.
No face? Can I give you can I give you my pitch as to why I think it would be great to have your face on it?
Yeah, sure.
You stand by all of this, obviously, right? So in order for this to not seem like a shady hoax, which I'm not saying it is, I don't want you to take that the wrong way, but remember when we discussed, I was like, how do we make this, the substantial discovery that it is? I think it's going to be important that you show your face on the Zoom. How do you feel about that?
I don't share my face. I want to share my face on the internet or anything like that.
Yeah, I feel you on that. What if you share it with me here and then we blur it out if we make this public? How does that sound?
What? I gotta think about that.
Because I think, like I'm saying, I think people can understand that, like, this guy doesn't want to be known. He doesn't want to be widely, seen and interviewed and all of that. But I think, standing behind a black screen makes it feel illegitimate. Whereas if you at least show up and we just blur your face, you know, on the Zoom call.
Yeah, but also just because of what kind of situation this is, not wanting to reveal as much as possible makes it feel sketchy. Yeah, exactly. It's. I think he just hates the attention. Or he just hates attention. No, this guy. I don't know. This feels weird. Then why should the picture in the first place? Exactly. Well, it was his friend. Remember. I don't know. I think it's an elaborate ruse to make it seem. It feels like an elaborate ruse to make it seem more credible. That's what it feels like.
Then I think that at least has the credibility of this really happened.
I do have an open mind for it, though.
Nah. I don't like showing my face.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, let's have the Zoom nonetheless. And then, you know, if you change your mind, like I really think if we want this to be impactful in the world of wildlife science, it would be important for you to stand by it with your face at some point. But it's up to you, man. I'm not going to talk you into it.
I could, if it would help, I could just send a picture.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that would help that much.
Who doesn't have their face on the internet, though?
From
who doesn't have their face on the internet?
Everyone does. From a black screen. I think that's where, you know, because I'm going to try and get this vetted by a bunch of experts and people in Tasmania, and I think they're all going to be like,
I don't think that's really how that works.
You know, this American kids.
I don't think that's how that would work, to be quite honest with you. I don't think so. I mean, the picture's already on the internet after this video. This video is going to go public. He's going to post the pictures. It's just his face. Like, the videos or the pictures are going to be out there. That's it.
Saw a thylacine on vacation, like, sounds sketchy, you know, versus like, oh, I can see him talking about it and telling the story. I'm just giving you my opinion because I think I don't want this to fall on deaf ears, if, you know, assuming it's legit.
Yeah, I totally understand.
You don't put your face on the internet? You don't have a Facebook or anything like that?
I'm not offended.
What about, Zach, what about like a hoodie and some shades or something, you know, like the way they do in those old school, you know, like FBI interview movies, like put on a hoodie, put on a face mask, you know, like a COVID mask or a bandana or something and a pair of shades, like that way at least it's coming from you.
All right, I could do that.
Let's do that. That helps. I think, you know.
Yeah, why share the photos if you don't want to be interviewed?
I think that'll work.
Well,
so
again,
why don't
his
you,
friend shared it.
How many minutes till you want to hop on the Zoom?
But he had to agree for his friend to share it, right?
Give me like 5 minutes.
5 minutes. I'll see you there, buddy.
All right.
Thank you.
I'm a very busy person who doesn't put their face on the internet.
This last, is it like going to be like 20 minutes or?
That's about what I was thinking. I was just going to have you tell the whole story, kind of like you did over the phone to me before. But, you know, explain. And then there's 12 pictures, I think. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pictures. I was hoping I'll screen share with you and we could step through each picture and you could just tell me a little bit about what was happening. I just want to get the full understanding of everything. That's all.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. All right, great. Well, the Zoom room is open, and I will see you in a couple minutes.
All right.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
Yep.
So, as you can tell, it's weird, right? He doesn't want to show his face.
Weird.
He's got his own reasons. He's skeptical, which makes me skeptical, right? But, as you guys will see when you see these photos in detail, pretty hard to be a hoax. I've got my camera guys sitting here, and they looked into it. There are some weird things that I'll bring up in the interview, like the metadata, which could be from screenshots of the photos. I was contacted for the first time on April 20th, and the metadata says that the photographs are from April 21st and 22nd, which may mean that they were screenshots that were then sent to me because they didn't come from Zach, who I just spoke to on the phone. They came from his friend Henry.
Well, that would make sense if he screenshotted them and sent them to his friends, then they would be different metadata. Metadata is important. Metadata will actually tell you, like, if it's a legit photo or not. That's a big, important part of it.
Henry.
It'll tell you if it's AI as well.
With his dad in Tasmania visiting
I don't know
family.
much about the actual metadata itself.
There are a lot of red flags. I'm incredibly skeptical, but I'm also honored that we're the first people that somebody that says they had a sighting came to and is going to give us this information. So I'm waiting for Zach, if that's his real name, to jump on our Zoom here. Then we're going to go through these photographs. I'm going to cross-question him and see if it's bullshit or see if these photos that are incredibly compelling could possibly be legit and change our entire understanding of thylacine extinction. Do you want to just keep rolling, or? Okay.
Is he in there?
No. Oh, he's here. That was quick. Wait for Tommy.
I don't think we need to.
Okay.
Well,
This is all good. I'm glad the cameras are rolling. So he's just jumped in the room. Record.
This is a well-made video by
Or
Forrest.
on this computer.
I like
Recording in
the
progress.
angles
You got
and
it?
everything.
Okay. Should we just go? He's here.
yeah.
All right. This is a big deal for those watching at home. Everybody, I'm getting goosebumps. Everybody's getting nervous. I sure hope this isn't a hoax, because I mean, I'm not gonna look dumb. This kid's gonna look dumb, but this would just be so sad if people are this desperate for attention. So, all right, here we go.
From his iPhone. Huh?
Zach, you there?
Womp womp.
Zach, can you hear me? It says you're muted, and then your camera's off.
His video has been good quality lately. Yeah, he does have great content. I like Forrest. Just didn't like the
Uh-oh.
the not showing evidence and asking for money
Let's
part.
try that.
He's just a drunk and painted his dog. Classic Aussie.
Zach, you there?
I mean, if he's just pretending to be really bad at or old school or like really bad at using tech, I mean, he's doing a good job of it.
Tommy, can you just check and see if he... Yeah, I just felt a text come in. There he is right there.
My password's
Okay, good to know. Now everybody knows that. I'm here. It's not like
Hello?
me. Oh, there he is. I hear you.
Okay, I think it was just because it was giving me the notification that the meeting was being recorded.
Oh, gotcha. That's okay with you, I presume, right? I mean, that's we discussed
Yeah.
that. Yeah, cool. Sweet. Are you willing to turn your camera on?
Yeah, I'm just finishing up my disguise.
Okay.
Finishing
no
up my
problem.
disguise.
Yeah, this is
Fortnite
crazy.
skibbity.
Zach, this is the only thing I've been
I'm
thinking
sorry.
about. I got to tell you,
That's just the vibe I
it's
get.
pretty nuts.
Yeah.
I know you're not a big wildlife guy from our original phone call, but to me, this is. Oh yeah, you're fully hidden. Look at you go.
Oh,
Well, I am a wildlife guy. I'm just not a mammal guy.
Gotcha. All right. Well, that's pretty good.
Or turtles and snakes and stuff.
Oh,
I
well,
like
all those
turtles.
things. But
God.
let's talk thylacine. Let's get right into it. So,
Yeah.
tell me. I know we chatted about this briefly over the phone, but give me the whole story. Like, where were you? What was the day? What were you doing there? Like, why were you in Tasmania?
He's
It's
a
pretty
very
hard
odd
for people
guy.
to
Well, I mean,
believe
which
that a
is-
kid from Chicago, or not.
being an odd guy isn't a bad thing, but if you're willing to go and have an interview about this, being so cryptic is a little weird.
Chicago, Milwaukee,
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis found a thylacine. So yeah, just lay it out for me, please.
So, I was visiting Tasmania with my. Hold on, let me fix my thing. It's falling apart.
Okay, that's fine.
You can see the pain in Forrest's eyes. You can see it. It's palpable. You can feel it.
Don't worry, you've got a disguise on, and I look like a beetroot because I was out in the sun all day yesterday, so it's all good. Yeah, you're good, man. Also, if you get comfortable enough, you can just let it fall down because whatever.
I'll just let it fall down maybe when I get comfortable, but
That's
for now,
fine. Whatever you want, man. Like, I don't want to pressure you. It's weird. I get it.
This is my I don't know. Anyways, so story is
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see
I'm
his
visiting
phone's iPhone
Tasmania with
11.
my dad. You know, because we have family down in Tasmania.
Yeah. Where does your family live?
They live in the area near the Snowport. That's
Okay.
what it's called. Upper Snowport, what it's called.
Okay.
Um,
He wants a cattle prod.
And it's my aunt's husband, right? My dad's sister.
So your uncle?
And she married him. He's from Tasmania.
Okay.
And so...
Is that a thing, not calling your, like, the in-law of your aunt or uncle, just not calling... I always call them aunt or uncle. Like, people who spot thylacine are like Bigfoot people. They're interesting people.
All right, so you're in Tasmania with your dad.
They definitely can be.
Right, on this trip.
Except thylacine is actually real. Bigfoot is questionable, probably not real.
And this is a couple weeks ago?
Yes, this was April 12th through 18th.
Gotcha.
It was just 6 days in Tasmania.
Nice.
Yeah, we were just down. My uncle's parents own like a sheep farm down there.
Cool.
Yeah, they've got like the big pastures with the sheep and the wool and all that.
Rad.
Yeah.
Rad. So you're driving. Yeah, tell me what happened, please.
We had just left. We were about to head back to Darwin International Airport to head back to the States.
Okay.
Darwin is not in Tasmania. Sorry. Darwin's not in Tasmania. Darwin is in Australia.
11:30-ish.
Okay.
And so we're driving down the road. There's no street lights, so we got our headlamps on. On the side of the road, there's a dog, or what we think is a dog. We pull over because we like dogs, obviously. Who doesn't?
Yep.
We notice it's not a dog, obviously. Pretty quick though, but we're still like gonna try and help it.
Yeah.
And so it might have just been eating something. I don't know.
Real quick. I have come across dogs before out in the wilderness. You don't just go up to random dogs. Most of the time. Most of the time, people don't just go up to random dogs because you don't know if that random dog will just attack you. You don't just go up to a random dog. I mean, maybe that's just me. I don't know. I've as I said, I've had a couple of dogs out in the woods that I've seen. I don't know whose dog they are, especially if it's a bigger dog. I'm not messing with that thing. I don't know what that thing's gonna do. I don't know if that thing is rabies. I don't know.
Because there was blood, so either it got clipped by something, or it was eating something.
Okay.
So we get out. I've got my flashlight.
Yep.
More cojones than me, I guess.
And my dad has like an actual flashlight, a real one.
Yep.
So he's shining it, and we're prepared to have to grab this dog.
Yeah. Can I stop you just for 1 second, Zach? So you were driving down the highway and you just saw it lying on the side of the highway, just so I understand it fully.
It wasn't a highway. It was like a small road.
Okay. And it was like lying on the tarmac, or it was in the bushes?
It was half on the tarmac.
Okay. That makes sense.
That's why we were like, oh no, doggy got hit.
Yeah, sure. And you pulled like up to it, or you kind of went by it and turned around, or how did the approach work? I'm trying to think of the animal's behavior.
We pulled on the other side of the road.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we didn't want to spook it.
Mm-hmm.
And so we walked across the road because we weren't worried about.
This Tasmania, do you drive on the right side or do you drive on the left side? I don't know.
Cars, because we were like the only people we had seen in like an hour of driving.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Like all farmland up there, down there, I guess. And so we crossed the street, we got our flashlights, and the critter pokes his head up, and we can see, he sees us. I'm saying I don't know if it was a boy or a girl, but I'm just assuming it was a guy.
That's fine.
And we get close enough because we kind of like we run over because we don't want him to get away.
Yeah. So you've got a phone in your hand, and your dad's got a flashlight, correct?
Phone is like right here.
Okay. So you're holding it like this, basically, or like that. Yeah. Okay.
So at first I got my flashlight out, and then
Wait, you had a flashlight
I
too?
got my camera out as my dad brings up the actual flashlight, which is a lot brighter than the iPhone one.
Of course. Yeah.
Oh,
of
okay,
course.
gotcha.
So we get over there, and he stands up.
Drive on the left side, gotcha.
You know,
Thank
and
you.
he bares his teeth.
Well, hold on. So you get over there. At what point were you or your dad like, that's not a dog? Or did you still think it was a dog? Or like, what was the thought process?
The better than Australia
I
place.
thought it was a dog up until it opened its mouth.
Okay.
And it made the shriek sound.
Uh-huh.
Made this like shrieky, almost like a meow.
Can you mimic it? I mean, I'm trying to put you on the spot here, but
Nice,
can you
Ellie.
do it? Like, what did it sound like?
Let's hear this.
Like kind of like a.
It's pretty good. Sounds pretty cool. Okay, I like it.
All right.
I mean, I don't know what a thylacine sounds like, so it sounds good to me.
I didn't.
There's one thing that I have learned is that usually, not all the time, everyone's a little different, but oftentimes if somebody is lying, they will throw in a bunch of extra details. A lot of times when you're just like in the moment, you don't pick up little details, very particular things, unless it's like a traumatic event. And if this guy doesn't know what it is, and he just thinks it's a dog or something, I don't know, to pick up all those little extra details like that. I mean, he's just rambling on details that, like, I mean, you probably know if you pulled over or something like that. I can get that. I understand that. But, like, saying that he saw I don't know. We'll see. If he didn't know what it was,
No, either. I just
I don't know.
assumed, you know,
Just
but I knew
a lot
it
of
wasn't a dog
information, as you said.
noise.
Okay, yeah.
And like at that point, when he gets up, we're like, okay, buddy, don't bite us. We'll back off and let you be.
Mm-hmm.
Being.
okay, buddy,
You know,
I don't have the Phantom
And so
packs for you.
I took a few pictures because, like, oh my gosh, that's not a dog. That's like a dingo or some garbage.
So you didn't know. You weren't
That's
like,
a
that's a
dingo or some
thylacine. You're just like,
garbage.
that's a weird dog or a dingo or something.
Yeah, well, that's why I
Is
sent
it
it to
the
my friend Henry because he
is it the
knows.
chupacabra?
Gotcha.
No, he was in Tasmania, apparently.
Yeah, gotcha.
Ice Age Pleistocene
Chupacabra's
stuff.
an American
Mhm.
animal, if it's real.
And so, I was trying that. I'm like, oh my gosh, please don't bite me, dog, or dingo, you are.
I don't hate every discovery. What do you mean? I don't hate every discovery. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not hating on the discovery part. If this is true, and if like the metadata comes out and is true, I will be like, bro, you're a weird dude, but thanks for taking those pictures. But the story behind it is important. I want to believe him. But this is like the worst kind of way to show. It just feels off. If someone's telling you a story on something that's supposed to be extinct for years and years and years, and there's these pictures, which we'll go over in a little bit, I'm not hating on the discovery part. But you gotta be critical of stuff like this. You can't just believe everything that somebody says all the time. Is he wearing a fat suit? I don't think so. He just seems like a big guy.
Tasmanian devil. I don't know. And so I snapped a few pictures because I'm like, I don't know what this is. I'm going to send them to
Are there
Henry
any
'cause he
dingoes in
knows
Tasmania? I thought they didn't make their way
mammals
over
and
there.
stuff.
Yeah.
I'm the turtle guy. And then he gets up, does the meow, and then he kind of just turns around and gallops back into there's a line of, I think they're just eucalyptus trees near the fence.
Yeah,
No
right.
dingoes,
Yep.
gotcha.
And so he goes along the fence and into these trees, and that's where I lost him.
And that's it. So how long was the entire encounter, would you say? Like, how long were you with the animal?
Oh man, probably like only like 30 seconds max.
You got
Yeah, it's been over 100 years since the last official one died, like that we know of 100%. But there have been sightings since then, like all throughout. Most people don't believe they went extinct until like the 70s or so, at least from my understanding of it.
got some good photos for 30 seconds.
But no
That's including him
official
running away.
sightings or any of them
Yeah,
since that one
understood.
in Hobart Zoo.
Yeah, I had my button.
Yeah,
I was pictures to try and get a good one.
yeah. And Zach, what did your dad think of this whole thing?
He thought it was a dog. He was like, "Oh my god, that's a freaky looking dog."
Yeah.
He thought it would belong to the people whose farm we were near.
Uh-huh.
He was just like, "Oh, I hope he gets back safe," because we weren't going to follow him.
Sure. Okay. And then, yeah, your dad couldn't join us today. You said you guys don't live together, right? And he didn't want to zoom in. Yeah.
Man, really bad job of
We don't talk
disguising
much.
his face, huh?
This trip was kind of like an outlier thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
No worries. Okay, so first I'm going to ask the biggest, hardest question that I think anybody that listens or watches this is going to ask. How do I know this isn't bull, Zach? You know what I mean? Like, this is a big deal. I'm not sure if you're fully grasping like how substantial this discovery could be. Like, how do I know? By the way, I'm just being candid. I don't want to offend you, but it's like I looked at the
I
photos,
want
I
to
zoomed
believe as
in,
well.
I showed it to a bunch of guys. We checked internet
That's
research,
part of
we
the
checked a bunch
problem.
of stuff. They're all like, yeah, it looks legit. So I'm rooting for you here, but like, how do I know it's not like a hoax? Like, what, you know?
I'm glad that Forrest is being so, like... I'm glad that he's being like this and actually asking him questions and stuff. It's good. It's good because he's not just downright like, this is true, I believe you 100%. He's like, actually like, hey, I'm skeptical. I really need to know.
Oh, like, what is there to go on here, Zach?
Well,
Yeah, it's a really bad job of hiding his face.
There's the pictures, and I know in this day and age we can't trust pictures.
Zach
Sure.
from Minnesota,
From my
and you have
knowledge
his face. You
situation,
can
this is
easily
basically
find this guy.
icon
Not saying you
Sasquatch.
should.
Yeah, totally.
so
Unless he gave a fake
there
name.
is, I can get you the area where this happened.
Mhm.
Not quite exact, but that stretch
Yeah,
of road
exactly.
is pretty not inhabited.
Yeah. Well, let's do this. Let's dig into the photos, because I'm going to screen share with you, and I want to look through the photos, if that's cool, and you can sort of tell me what the animal was doing and what was happening. And this is insane. And then, you know, I'm going to try and, like, poke holes in it just so you can tell me everything, you know, like how it unfolded, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. And of course, man, I mean, no, you can understand my skepticism, right? It's like, holy shit, this is a big deal. Like, there's so many Bigfoot-y type thylacine things out there. Like, I'm not saying that's what you're doing. I'm just like, I'm trying to cover all my bases here.
I totally, I would be a lot more hesitant if you weren't skeptical,
Sure.
to be honest, because I've seen, like, Finding Bigfoot, and those guys are crazy. Again, I didn't know
Yeah, they are a
you
little
existed
crazy.
before
Yeah.
my friend told you. I did look up some clips. I saw, like, Animal Planet and junk.
You don't want this to be like a Finding Bigfoot thing, because the thing with Finding Bigfoot is the people themselves want to believe so bad, and they have a TV show about it. You have to give the people something to want to watch it for, so they go the extra mile in pretending that every little thing that they find is actual evidence, when most of the time it's not. In their skeptic, that chick, I forgot what her name is, the skeptic believes just as much as the rest of them.
Yep.
I'm not going to say Animal Planet is the catch-all, because they also aired Bigfoot.
I'm with you, man.
Anyway.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I appreciate a little bit of skepticism.
Great. Well, let's dig into these photos here. So I'm going to go screen share. And my
What happened to the lead Forrest teased a few months ago, the thing that I criticized him about? The bones with no photos. From my understanding, he's going to go to New Zealand, and he used it to launch a GoFundMe to pay for his trip. That's my understanding. I don't think he's come out, from my understanding, he hasn't come out with anything else that backs up those claims, and that's the criticism I had of him. I like Forrest in general, but you can't come out and say, hey, we have evidence, I'm not going to show it to you, but pay me money so we can go look for them. That's the sketchy part. So as far as I know, unless someone can show me that I was wrong on that, he hasn't posted the photos.
Desktop. Are you seeing my desktop here?
I am the kelp forest.
Yep, that's it. I like diving. All right, I'm gonna pull up these photos. We'll just do them one at a time here. All right, so this is the first photo.
Photos.
Can I ask you? So yeah, what's this photo? Tell me what I'm looking at here. Like when this photo happened.
Okay, so that is after he hissed, growled, meowed at me. Right. He
I
turned
will
around
say
and was
this
running
about this photo. Yeah, he wants to leave Australia and come to New Zealand. Well, no, he doesn't want to go to New Zealand. He wants to go to Papua New Guinea. There's a difference. I mean, yeah. So the dark part in the front and the back is lit up. You could tell that to me, this looks like somebody took a picture of something while shining a light on it. It looks really legit. It's tough because I think he's doing it got a cause where he thinks the end will justify the means. I hope so. I hope you're right on that.
along the fence. You can't really see it in the photo, but there's a little like wire and post fence behind him.
Okay.
That I don't think you wanted to get past. Like you didn't want to squeeze through.
Okay.
That's him.
I mean, that photo looks really good. It's hard because, I mean, it's very grainy, but you can clearly see that's supposed to be a Tasmanian tiger. That is supposed, like, I don't think there's anything else that picture could be. It looks really good. Clearly, the light is shining on the back end more than the front end, and that, like, it looks like they legitimately took a picture of something standing there in the dark. That's what it looks like.
Along the
Gotcha. So sadly, this is the most like Bigfooty of all the photos, but it's the first one that came up in order, which makes sense because I think it was your last photo. So I'm going to pull up the next one now. Now that one's pretty on the money. That's the fake.
This is the biggest photo, obviously. It looks really good. It looks really good. It's got the eye shine. It's got... You could see shadow behind it. I want to know what... It looks like it's like behind, like right in front of a wall or something. But I don't know if he's literally like taking a photo from directly above it so that the shadow is hitting the ground at a bit of an angle. Because he's taking a picture. His dad has the flashlight. That's what he's saying. So if his dad is off to the, his left while he's down taking a picture of this thing, it would make sense that maybe the shadow is beaming like they're both like kind of looking down on it. It does look really good. I mean, and also it's very grainy because it's at night. Shadow behind the head. Wall, exactly. Yeah, it looks like there's like a wall or a hedge there or something. Because you can't pick out leaves. It literally looks like a green wall behind it. Unless it's literally... Like, it looks like it's standing in front of something. It does...
Face of the animal. So what...
It looks really
here?
good.
What am I seeing here?
And it looks like it's turning around right there. Like, its body is, like, facing one way, and it looks like its head is, like, going like that. Like, it's about to turn around. That's what it looks like to me.
Okay. Flashlight is coming at him from the side from my dad.
Okay.
He had just meowed at me.
Okay, that's what he just said. The flashlight on his... Okay.
Right? He closed his mouth. He was looking at us. I was looking at him. It was like a standoff.
Yeah.
You know, if you've ever, like we weren't sure which either one of us was going to do. We were
It
both
looks really good.
to attack.
Yep.
And
I could see how this... To me, AI is not this good. AI doesn't do stuff like this. Like, it looks like it was just an older camera that captured something at night, right? At least it's right in front of him. It's not like off at a distance. You can clearly see that's supposed to be a Tasmanian tiger. There's nothing else that could be but a thylacine. Or it could just be getting up from laying down, and maybe because of the, like, it's still like partially on the ground and he's just at an upward angle at it, looking straight down at it. Maybe that's literally the ground, like it literally is just standing up and he's taking the picture of it right down on the ground. That could just be the ground.
He went off running along the fence.
This photo's crazy, dude. Like, if this is legit, like, I'm believing you. Like, if this is legit, like, holy shit, man. I don't think, maybe you do understand what you've got, but, like, I'm blown away, man. This is...
Or... Oh, wait a second. Maybe it is laying straight down on the ground, and he, like, comes up to it, and that's when... Because if this was laying straight down on the ground, the body's still on the ground. That's literally the grass underneath the body, and it's literally just getting up. I could see that. And that behind it, that looks like a wall, is literally just the ground.
You know, it's like that 1 in a billion where lightning strikes twice kind of thing. Like, this is like the fact that you got this. I mean, this changes everything. So, wow.
I definitely understand what I got now.
Yeah. And I know you said, you know, and I'm going to pull up the
AI
next photo
that
here. I know you said
have is not that good.
I think Henry reached out to Tagoa, but then you guys looked up the organization and you were a little bit less inclined to share. So this is still the only place you've shared this, right?
Well, yeah, he looked up Tagoa. He asked to, like, talk to them.
Yeah.
They didn't respond. They responded, but it was a blank message. So he was like, all right, let's not.
Yeah,
let's
where's
just
the
send it
blood
to
he
the
was
other
talking
guy.
about?
Yeah.
They later called us.
You're right, I didn't even think about that. He said there was blood, and I don't see any blood here.
After we talked, and he told us to keep the secret.
Uh-huh.
And they were, let's look. We're like, no, and then they proceeded to insult us for like 3 emails. So.
Yeah, they're good at that. They're really good at that.
Yeah.
So can I ask you a question? When was this photo taken? Do you know what night this photo was taken?
The last night I was there.
So that would be April 18th, is that right?
Yes.
So if
That's the only other
meta-
thing. It kind of looks like something you could make with CGI. It would be really good CGI. I wish he took a video of it instead. Like, if he took a video of this instead of pictures, like, wouldn't that be a lot easier just to record? Like, why would you take pictures? I don't know. Maybe it just happened so quick that he didn't think about it. I don't know. Like, if he took a video of it, that would answer a lot more questions. Because, like, he obviously took multiple pictures of this thing. I think it's the ground with some embedded rocks that makes the texture. Possibly.
Metadata on this photo. It says April 22nd, which is the day after you guys contacted me, or Henry did. So I'm wondering, did you guys, like, do you have an explanation for that?
So I think I sent it to him.
Yeah.
And he copied it.
Gotcha.
He doesn't have a good phone.
Yeah.
Neither do you.
So
sir.
do you have better quality than this, or is this is it, right?
That's the same quality.
Yeah, gotcha. So these are like screenshots or something like that of the photos?
Yeah, I want to believe.
I believe so, yeah. I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to ask him.
Okay, no problem. I just wanted to ask because I was looking at the metadata and I was like, wait, this is after they contacted me. So something, it's not like you didn't have the photos. So I was like, something got lost in the data transfer. All right, so what's this photo? And this is the one that, even before I saw it, this was the first photo that I saw.
So you can clearly see that right in front of it, there is grass, like a little bush or something like that is laying in front of you. You can see that up. The rest of it looks like short grass, but you can see the grass coming up around. It's very short grass. It's laying down. Clearly laying down. Let's see, I would be more like picture the situation like this just of habit. I've spoken to artists. They say it's perfect to do without a reference with OFC. There isn't really one I've seen. Ask experts say it looks real and AI isn't this good, so I think it's CGI or real. Yeah, I mean this picture looks really good right here. The colors are great on it. It's consistent. It's not like a bunch of stuff keeps on changing on it. That looks like an animal laying down. Where's the blood, though? That's the thing. He said there was blood. Where's the blood? But it looks like it's laying down, and the bush covers up maybe where the tail is going. You can see the shadow right behind it as they're looking at it. It looks like they're standing. I mean, you would think the shadow would go a little bit farther out. One of the things that is a little suspicious to me is that if you were coming up to it and taking a photo while you're shining a light on it, the shadows wouldn't be the exact same size every single time. You know that? Like, if you're, like, the shadow would move, it would be at different angles because you're walking with a flashlight. So, like, I don't know, it feels like almost every single one of these photos that has a shadow, the shadow is only like that much above it, and it looks like it's directly behind it. It's not like shooting off a little bit because of the shadow coming off at a different angle. So that kind of seems a bit weird to me.
Saw when Henry messaged us, and this is the one where I was like, holy that looks legit. So what's this photo?
Could that be a small spot of blood?
I'm standing just in the road
Possibly.
at this moment.
From that angle, maybe.
I take a picture of him.
Maybe.
I'm like, oh no, I want to like get the pictures essentially.
Yeah. How far away is this in the photo? Like, how far are you from the animal?
So I zoomed in.
Yeah.
Say maybe 15 feet.
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. What iPhone model do you have, Zach?
iPhone model. I think it's an 11.
An 11. Okay. Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
That's okay. I'm just curious because I know the newer ones. Like I have a 14, I think, and they take better photos at night. But no matter what, when you zoom,
to me, the body itself seems really good. Like it doesn't seem too off to me, in that like the angles and the stuff that it would have to make up if it was CGI or if it was CGI, I'm sure you could do that because it's just one model and you put it in whatever angle you want. So like CGI seems the most likely. AI, there's too many things that could go wrong through any of these photos for it to me to be AI.
Zoom in at night, it gets so pixely and bad. So, yeah, okay, cool. So let me leave that up. So he's lying down here. You're
So what I'm saying is like he walks up to it and like goes down and it lifts up its head and like pushes up. And it looks like the body's still laying on the ground, and the background that looks like a wall is literally just the grass. Thought it was half in the tarmac and half in the grass, and moved that much in 30 seconds. Yeah, you're right about that. He did say it was partially on the road.
Standing on the road taking this photo. Are you vertical or horizontal when you take the photo with the phone? Vertical, gotcha. And then after this is when he stood up, is that correct?
Yeah. He probably just heard us coming.
Yeah.
He heard us stop. He heard us walking.
Okay, let's look at the next one. Oh, sorry, go ahead. No, please go ahead. I'm sorry.
We were saying.
He did say it was on the concrete though, didn't he?
We should like call up a vet, and I was arguing like let's at least get to him first before we do that.
Yeah.
In the trunk.
So, okay, this photo again, it's like that super grainy, clearly far away. You've got.
So, like, maybe he just stands up and yawns? His eyes clearly open at that point. But look, you see the shadow is almost exactly the same. It looks like he's standing up at this point, doesn't it? If he's... This one... I could also see how you can mistake off-coloring or mud for blood if you're driving and see an animal laying on the side of the road. True. Photos look great on their own, but there's so many inconsistencies with the stories he tells. Very true. Exactly. He hasn't touched on details on time since he was asked. Don't see any roadway. Yeah. I don't know what to think either.
Got the mouth open, the eye blurred.
But I was talking about the shadow. Like, is it still laying down here? Because its tail is straight out now. If it is standing up, why is the shadow exactly the same in every single part of the video or the pictures? Every picture shows the shadow directly behind it like that. There's no shadow on the ground. It's literally just like raised up a little bit. Every single picture has the same shadow. If this is real, then the Tassie needs to stay hidden, as they would capture a tree like a lab rat and potentially kill it like they did the last one in the zoo. I think that's being a little bit that's definitely thinking terribly about the situation. I don't think that would happen like that.
What? I mean, the sort of teeth are interesting. Anything to say about this photo?
Yes. So after he got up,
So that he is up. Okay.
after he got up, he meowed at us. He ran off. He went along the fence.
Yeah.
He went right first, realized that probably wasn't the best way to go, stopped, and then went the other way.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I think he was probably confused. He was stressed, I assume.
Why do you think his mouth's open like this? Yeah.
I mean, I don't really know. I think he was just kind of like, he didn't make any noise when he was doing that.
Mhm.
Not that I remember, at least he might have.
Yeah.
It happened fast, so I don't have every single detail probably.
Sure. But he wasn't making sound or panting or anything like that at this point in time.
Hold on. He might have been panting, but
Okay.
I didn't hear it.
Okay. Copy. Okay, let's look at the next one. Oops, I just stopped sharing. That was a mistake. My bad. Stand by. I meant to X out of the photo. Can you see my screen again?
Yep.
Great. Okay. Next one. This one I don't think we really need to dig into. I appreciate that you guys sent every photo. I know. Liam was asking Henry for that.
That last
but
one looks pretty suspicious.
I mean, is there anything you want to
sure.
say about it? I see the blur up here, but it's not very distinct like some of the other ones.
I think he was juggling.
But
that
at
one.
the same time, if it looks suspicious, why would he send that one too? Although this whole thing kind of does seem suspicious. I don't know. It's something that we haven't seen in a very long time, if true. So I can understand how sending everything, if he is telling the truth, it wouldn't really seem like a big deal to him. Being so prominent makes me feel like it's real. Possibly, I don't.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Those canine teeth did protrude out pretty far for sure.
Yeah.
Just following camera clicking.
Yep. Sort of same with this one, right?
Same with one, yeah.
That's his face.
Okay.
It looks
Let's
like.
have a look at this guy.
Okay.
What about here? Same sort of thing.
He's standing like directly over it. Like he's like right next to it, it seems. Like at that angle, he has to be going like, well, he says he's holding it straight up and down. He's holding it straight up and down like this. Like it's like like literally like he's walking a dog. It would be right in front of him.
Thing?
Same, he was running, walking.
Yep. Are you a good artist, Zach?
I would say so.
Yeah. So I feel like the only way that I could see this not being real is if somebody tried to draw these. Like if they like were a really, really good like photorealistic artist, which I can't do a stick figure, so I don't know much about that. But
Okay, well this one, the shadow does act a bit different. It literally comes off of it a little bit more. And he's taking the picture from straight up and down. I mean, the blurry part doesn't really bother me as much. It sucks that it's not clearer, but it also doesn't look like it's moving. It literally looks like it's just standing there. But again, want to stay open to it. Yeah, it could be an
that's like
amazing
the
discovery.
only
It
way
absolutely
I
could
could
be.
see these being cheated, really.
I could draw a turtle for you.
No, that's okay. Thank you, though.
Yeah, I don't
How
want
about
a
this
picture
photo?
of your
What's happening
fucking
here?
turtle,
And
dude.
I see the lighting and the shadow. Like, what's the angle? What's going on in this photo?
So this was him turning around, and I was readjusting my phone to try and like get a better look at him. Because after crowd, still in front of us though, he turns and he
Also, there's a shadow on his, like, the front half of his back. It could, if his dad's standing next to him and he gets a little bit of, like, right in front of it, like, his shadow might be casting on it as well. So, I mean, it looks like there is something standing there. Because you could see that shadow that's on its back also is behind it as well. So that, my criticism of the shadows themselves, you can definitely see that the shadow looks like the way that it's shining. You could see that it arches its back right there and the shadow kind of disappears behind it. This one looks like the shadows are more real.
goes off to the fence.
Gotcha.
This convinces me a bit
I think
more
there's
with the
one
shadows.
or two more. So that's another blurry one.
There one.
And then, oh, I haven't even seen this one yet. Liam must have got this one later. So what's this photograph?
This was also just after he had meowed at us.
This. Is it still okay? So is it still laying on the ground on its side? That's what it looks. Is it? Because the grass, you can clearly see the grass at this point. You can clearly see the grass at this point. If it's laying down and like lifting its head up, you can see that looks so good. Look at the teeth. You can clearly see the teeth right there. You could see the shadow behind the ear because that's the only thing that's off the ground. The rest of it is laying on the ground. And it hasn't quite opened its eyes yet. It's kind of like when a dog is laying down on the ground and like lifts its head up a little bit and is like kind of doing the smiling, panting thing. That looks really good. That looks really good. That's very convincing to me. It's just lifting its head off the ground. The only part that's off the ground and where the light is coming through, because you can see that the other side isn't lit up. The light is mainly focused right off to the side of it. And its ear has the light shining directly on it, and the shadow comes off of it as if it's coming at that angle. That looks really good. Yeah, we do need the correct order for sure. That looks really good. This is convincing to me. You can see the teeth. You can see the mouth, how there's a little bit of black on the lips itself is black, and you can even see its chin. Or what would be, look at the detail of the ear, too. The ear, where it is concaved in a little bit, you can see a bit of a light shadow from... This looks really good. Is it on a hill? Possibly, but it's definitely... He's like looking down at it. The ground is right there. It's still laying on the ground here. It's like he went around it from one of those original pictures, or the original picture is turned around, one of the two.
Okay.
Flashlight's shining at him. As
Yeah.
you can see. The eye not as good.
Yep.
Well, it's not that the chest is what, it's laying down on the ground, and it's like just starting to lift itself up, so the chest would be a little weird off to the side and lying as he's getting up. The stripes look good. I don't know what looks weird. Hey, thank you for stopping by, Ivy.
Yeah, it's the same as that other really good one you said.
Yeah.
iPhone is kind of finicky with lighting, so I guess this one is just better quality, I guess.
Okay. Interesting. And then there's one more that didn't end up in the
That
folder
is
for
a
some
very...
reason, which is this.
Now this one.
Does that mean anything to you, that photo?
This one. This is the weirdest one to me. Let's see. Let's see. Thylacine opening mouth. Alright. Here's pictures of an actual thylacine opening its mouth right here. If my computer will load for me. This is of an actual thylacine opening its mouth right here. Versus... Is that the inside of the mouth right there? Or is its teeth? The nose? The jaw? Like, this looks unnaturally open, and that's an actual photo. It's so hard to tell. Let's see. Is there a better angle? Is there a better angle? I mean, there's only that one that's off to the side. There's not really a comparable angle. Maybe this one? This was a little bit more comparable right here. If this is fake, it's got to be one of the best fakes of all time. Exactly. Look Look at that right there. I don't. You can kind of see the inside of the mouth there. The teeth look good. I mean, the angles are right. I don't know if this is the out. That looks a little weird, and then the nose, I can kind of see that the nose looks like it's blending in. That's kind of weird. Head facing on the Google search, head facing forward on the photo. Let's see. Head facing forward. I mean, these are... Okay, here's a drawing of one. Oh. I mean, it looks unnatural. Because they could do that. It looks unnatural because they could do that. But look at the details of the lip. You can see you have lip tapers right here. It didn't really have a lip on the top the same way it did on the bottom. From like this guy right here, this picture of it from the side. See, can I get a bigger zoomed in picture of that? With this father and his friend. His father, I don't think wants to be on camera. I mean, and look at the shadow too. Remember I was just criticizing the shadow for not looking different? This does look different. Is that because there's the other side, the other row of teeth on the inside there, so that's, you can see that where the tongue is that the inside of the mouth right there, like it's kind of facing the camera a little bit, so you can see a little bit of the inside of the mouth. That looks real. The nose is weird because it looks like the nose disappears. This looks kind of weird. But the rest of it, I don't know, maybe it looks like the jaw should be at a different angle. It looks like it's just unhinging its mouth like that. That's a little weird, but...
Yeah, that was him yelling.
Gotcha. I wonder why that didn't end up in our folder. I'll have to check. But, I mean, that one, man, I'm going to zoom in on it.
The guy's from Minnesota.
The nose looks a little funky, but...
He's not from
What is
Tasmania.
he up against there, right? The shadow's being cast against something, right?
Is it still laying on the ground at this
point? I think
point?
that might just be, like, my dad. The shadow on him.
Oh, I meant behind, like, see the outline? Yeah.
And he won't answer this question either.
It's either my shoulder or my dad's shoulder or something like that.
Gotcha. Okay. Wow. Yeah, I want to go back to these main ones here. I mean, that one there where the
So
eye
is he
shine,
laying on the
looking in
ground
nose
and
stuff,
opens his mouth like he's yawning?
That's
Is
pretty
that
crazy,
what that
man.
was?
Well, what do you think? All right, so okay, wow. I don't even know what to say. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing here. We've looked through all the photos. What else can you say, Zach? Like, what else do you want to tell me about this whole thing? Is, you know, like...
Get him.
You stand by it, right? This is legit, right?
This is legit. This is legitimate.
Okay. So what do you think, man? Talk to me. Like, just
that man has some oven mitts
like,
for
tell me
hands.
tell me what to do here. Like, what's going on?
I mean, get the conservation people out there, try to capture one, bring them back to, like, the zoo.
Yep.
The zoo or something.
Yeah, well, definitely, I'll take all the right steps for the conservation side of it. I'm thinking more, like, about the sighting. Like, what did it mean to you? Like, what else can you tell me about the sighting? Like, what else can you say to the experts that I'm going to share this with that'll be like, oh, this is made up? Like, what else can you say? You know, like, give me some stuff where I'm like, no, I believe Zach. Here's the story. Here are the photos. Here's what Zach has to say about it. Like, tell me what to say here.
Well, I mean, like it was there. We got out. We saw him run.
Maybe.
He ran. He mostly looks like he was using his back legs more than his front legs.
Okay.
I didn't see a limp or anything. His tail was stiff.
Yep. Wow. Anything else? Yeah.
Yeah, like there was.
Come on, think, man.
In the picture, he was light colored. I think a little bit lighter than the pictures really show.
Okay.
It was like a sandy color.
I mean, possibly,
Okay.
but there's so many angles
How
of it,
big
so
was
many
he,
different
Zach?
angles.
He came up to my, like, just above my knee. I am 6'3".
Oh, you're a big kid.
Large man. And so he probably came up just above my knee.
Okay.
He was maybe like 4 feet long.
Okay.
From
I
like
mean, he's given some accurate depictions
snout
at
to
least.
tail tip.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
I don't know how big they normally get, so I don't know if this was like a
That sounds
little
about right.
one.
Yeah. What Zach, what was your flight path to and from Tasmania from Minneapolis? I mean, I'm thinking through everything. Like I said, the whole lightning striking twice. A kid from Minneapolis, sorry, I shouldn't call you a kid, but a man from Minneapolis with his dad taking a late night drive and finding this animal.
You could tell Forrest is skeptical because he doesn't insult him directly, but he definitely is like, oh, this fucking guy, this fucking kid. Does Forrest make a detour to Tasmania after this? He's been to Tasmania, from my understanding.
Thousands of people have
I think
looked
he wants to go.
for
He might
for years
now.
and years and years.
He might
for,
go
for
to this
decades,
exact
really.
spot and look.
That's how it happens, though, right?
That'd
Like
be
it's not
pretty
who
cool.
you expect, and it's just the stars have to align. So I'm not questioning that, but like I'm just thinking through the whole thing. Like, what was your flight path to Tasmania from Minneapolis?
Like what the I can't remember like the times we took.
No, not the times. Just what airports did you fly?
Oh, we went to Darwin International.
Okay. That's in Darwin, right?
What?
That's in Darwin, not in Tasmania, though, right?
Yeah. It's in Tasmania, I think, right? Or I might be thinking of a different one.
I might be thinking of something else. This
So you
happened
flew
last
where? You flew
month, and I don't
Minneapolis
know.
to where to where?
So we
Oh shit! I didn't think he was
drove
going to ask me about this.
to Chicago,
Uh-huh.
where we took the flight there at JFK or whatever it is.
JFK is in New York.
Flew to Australia,
Yep.
and that was pretty much it.
So there wasn't a connector, so you went straight from JFK to Tasmania? I mean, you might have. I just don't know that flight path.
Uh-oh.
There wasn't a connection, no.
Gotcha.
You flew
Pretty
straight there.
straightforward trip,
Gotcha. Okay.
which is why
Yeah, show the ticket.
Dad will not do anything with a layover.
Gotcha. So it was just you just went New York to Tasmania.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah?
'Cause, yeah, Darwin International Airport's in
I thought you
Darwin,
went
which
to
is in mainland
Chicago.
Australia. Are you thinking of maybe Hobart?
Yes, Hobart.
Oh, yeah.
Gotcha.
Hobart.
a
I
big,
knew that.
That's the airport, like the international hub in Tasmania. And then you drove from Hobart to your relatives. Is that correct?
Yes, Hobart is.
What airport? The Australian one. He said Hobart. All right, let's see. Flights from Chicago to Tasmania. Let's look at this. Cheap flights from Chicago to Tasmania from Kayak. Let's see. From O'Hare, which would be the one in Chicago, to Hobart. Let's see. 2 stops 2 stops, 2 stops, 2 stops, 2 stops. Everything is 2 stops. United Airlines to Qantas Airways. Everything is 2 stops. You can't. Hobart. Yeah, everything is 2 stops. There is no one way, at least in this. Let's look somewhere else. Let's see. Air New Zealand was it lots of planes. Let's see. This is cheap flights. Let's try this. From one way from O'Hare to Hobart. Find deals. Let's see. What about New York to Tasmania? Let's see. Okay. JFK. Let's try that. Find deals. Let's see. View. I would doubt many international flights would go straight to Hobart. This is from JFK. Yeah, so you would have to, every single one is a layover in Dubai. No, I clicked no. And then you'd have to fly into, no! You should still have the digital, yeah, he should. Yeah, it looks like every single one. Yeah, every single one. Dubai to Sydney to Hobart. Dubai, layover to Kingsford Smith, Sydney. No. Oh my god! Dubai. Okay, fuck that. Nope. Stop giving me that shit. So no. I don't trust that. There's none. Every single one has
correct. Yeah.
Two.
How many
two
hours?
layovers.
How many hours is that drive from the airport to where your relatives live?
It was like 2 hours.
And then you're on your way back. Is that right? When you saw this, because it was the last night, you said, right?
We're on our way back to Hobart.
Yeah. And then you flew home the next day, or you flew home late that night, or what?
We flew home. We stopped by the airport. We slept at the airport.
Yeah.
Because it was early in the morning.
Was he even in
Gotcha.
Tasmania? Who knows?
Gotcha. Man, this is crazy. This is crazy, Zach. I don't even know. You know, like, I got to be honest. I'm still so skeptical, but just because it's so rare, you know, and I think that's why I want to handle this the right way. So,
you can
is there
cross out
anything else
information.
you want to add to anybody that sees this that might be a skeptic, or anything else you want to tell me, or anything else that stands out in your mind? I get it, right? You're driving, you saw something, you took some photos, you sent it to your buddy. You're like, that's the whole story. But, you know, like, what is there anything else that stands out that you want to point out or bring up?
I don't think it's aggressive.
Okay.
It's very scary, but I think that's just what animals do when they're scared, when they see people. I don't think
He hasn't done his
in the
homework,
moment
or
I
he's
was
really
worried it was going to
dumb.
bite me, but that's just because you don't want to like
both
be like,
can be
it's
true.
friendly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But like looking back on it, I think it was.
Here's the thing: if you come out with stuff like this, and you're willing to have an interview, even if you didn't originally want to be out there, so to speak, you can't get upset when people are calling you out. You can't. And I'm not saying that he is right now, because I haven't heard anything about him. But, like, you can't get upset when people call you out on shit. Because you have to make a claim and show evidence. He's showing evidence, kinda, but he also can't get his story straight. That's important. Everything else he's studied for. But then, oh shit, he's asking me how I got there. Yeah, that's weird.
Not likely to attack.
Sure.
So I don't want people to think that these things are going to be hunting their kids or stuff. I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't think there's a big fear of that. I think there's a lot of desire to see these animals bounce back.
No
but of course,
US
that's the
flights
world
go
that I
to
live in. So
Tasmania.
They're not like coyotes or wolves.
I bet he didn't even
up
realize
here,
that Tasmania
where, like,
is even a separate
'cause
place in Australia.
You're from the U.S. I'm sure you know how people don't like those animals, especially up in like the more rural.
Look,
Yep.
he's not even going to call him out. He's just like, he's trying to make him seem as like chill about it as possible. That's a good move on Forrest's part, not to call him out and say, no, I'm actually from South Africa. I think that's a good
So
thing.
I just want to like
Good job, Forrest.
try to get that point across if I can.
Zach, so you've done a good job, staying anonymous with your face and the hood and stuff. Is there anything else, like, if I take this to some of the experts that I know in Tasmania and things like that, would you be open to showing your face to them and speaking through this, at another more scientific level when it comes to those that are undeniably, Zach? Here's what's going to happen. With your permission, I'm going to share this, right? Can you consent to that?
I can consent to that being shared as long as my face is blurred, even with my disguise.
Yeah, I mean, sure, he could be autistic. That's fine. I mean, I'm not. That could be very well the case. I mean, especially with how he talks and everything, and like how he's. I can see that. I can see it. Still, like, there are certain basic things that, like, when Forrest asked him about the shadow behind him, like, he just straight up didn't give an answer, even though he's like, no, I mean this shadow. And he goes, oh, it was probably not. So maybe he just didn't understand the question. But then, like, the straight up, everything else I can kind of push aside. His explanation for what was going on, I can get that. But not knowing how he got there, and then being like, oh yeah, that was the one when Forrest put it, like, that is the weirdest bit. Like, oh shit, I'm stuck here. That to me is the weirdest part. Everything else I can definitely see it being because he's either awkward or autistic or something like that. I can get that. The not knowing how you got there and saying it was a direct flight when there's no direct flights, that's a straight up lie.
Guys.
Oh, so you want your face blurred in addition to the disguise?
Yeah, just because I don't fully trust how good my disguise was.
Private
Pretty
jet.
good, man. You look like a video game
Maybe.
character. But yeah, we'll do like a blur your eyes out thing. That's fine, right? Okay.
I couldn't find.
No problem. No problem. Okay. So you consent to us distributing this if your eyes are blurred out.
Yeah.
Yep. And then, I am gonna distribute this. I'm gonna try and take all the appropriate steps here. And then as I send this on, I know you have my cell number now because I was texting you before I called you before the Zoom. Can you text me the original photos, please?
Sure, yeah.
That'd be really helpful because I think going from you to Henry to Liam to me, the metadata's got messed up, and some seem kind of zoomed in and some seem kind of zoomed out. If you can just send me all the originals, that would be really helpful.
Yeah, for sure. I'll do that after the call.
Perfect.
Just so I'm not smudging up the recording with my hands.
No, you're good, man. That's fine. Yeah, do it after the call, and then I'll have the original photos as opposed to the ones that have played telephone already. Listen, Zach, this is amazing. We're gonna stay in touch. Congratulations.
Hopefully he does send the actual originals.
There's going to be a next step, right? This is a big deal. Like, if we can prove that this animal is out there and use what you've captured as the evidence to support it, and then put protections and sanctions in place, and I will be, actually, if you could text me, I don't want to share this publicly, but if you could text
Start spreading awareness about shark protection? Sure, like what? I mean, to take the picture to a place that has the enhance button.
me the specific
Exactly.
location. I know you named the road. I'm not going to repeat it because I'm trying to keep that a little bit more discreet. But if you could text me the specific location of the photos, that would be really helpful. And, look, it's amazing. Congratulations.
Yeah,
like, seeing
possibly.
something like
But, like,
this
what would he get rich off of? Like, he couldn't sell the pictures at this point. They're on the internet. Like, what do you mean? Like, someone could pay him to take him to the exact place, maybe, but like, what would he get rich off of? He obviously didn't even know anything about it. He claims to not know the thylacine was even a thing. He thought it was a dog.
You're living my dream, man. That's what I got to say here, Zach. This is something I've wanted to see. I've done like 1,000 miles looking for this thing on foot and in cars, and you happen to be cruising down the side of the road and saw one. So, you know, it's a big deal, man. It's a big deal.
That's how it is.
That's how it is.
As soon as you're looking for it, you find it.
Well, exactly right. Zach, wow. Thank you so much. I'm going to stop the recording just to make sure I don't lose anything, and then we'll hang up. But I just want to say thank you for taking the time.
Recording stopped.
It stopped. Thank you for taking the time. Thank you for choosing to share this with me through Henry. Again, I'd suggest that you guys keep it close to your chest for now. And once this blows up, which it will, then, you know, I think we'll figure out the next steps. But yeah, I'll get those original photos from you and that location. We'll stay in touch. You have my cell number now. And
I don't think that's
congrats to you and your dad. I'd love to talk to your dad about it at some point in time if you think he'd be open to that. And if not, I'm sure glad I got you.
See what the two stories are.
He thinks everyone on the internet is there to scam him.
How old is your dad? Is he 80?
I am. No, I'm just kidding. Fair enough.
I can send you my credit card information too if you'd like.
Yeah, please, with your social. That'd be great. All right, Zach, thank you very much, buddy. I appreciate this. Congratulations on your accomplishment, even if it wasn't intentional. I mean, really, way to go. And thank you for showing your face here and agreeing to meet with me.
Yeah.
All right, man. We'll be in touch. Thank you.
Yep, bye.
Everyone's trying to scam you, huh?
Holy Well, there you go, guys. That is the full call. Those are the photographs that I've shared here.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
So we definitely need to get an interview with the dad, because if the dad can either clear things up or corroborate what he's saying, especially about the flight stuff. He's like, nah, my son doesn't know what he's talking about. Like, that would be kind of a little better. If the location has been revealed to Forrest, then he should do a check and known fauna of the area. There can't be any predators without the right prey, so it's an easy way to debunk this. Very true. The inconsistent travel story kills all hope for me. Yeah, I can understand that, and I agree. The travel story is the part that makes it hardest. Does his dad know how he got to Australia? That's the good question. Got to mean there's breeding pairs somewhere. I mean, you would think so if they're still out there. Obviously, there's got to be more than one. So I think that's the thing. So the metadata is important. If he gets the original photos and can look at the metadata and show that it was taken at the day that, like, April 18th is what he said it was, the last day they were there. If he can get that evidence, then that makes it even more legit. If that isn't what it's shown, because he said that the metadata shows that it was taken the day after he got the email, that's kind of weird, but I can understand the screenshot part. And maybe that's a way for it to seem more legit, because maybe they know about the metadata, and that if it was a screenshot that he received, then there would be a little less weirdness about it. Like, you can give that excuse of, oh, it's a screenshot, I got the actual originals. Like, it's important that I'm wondering if he actually got it yet or not. Of course, this came out yesterday, so
what to think. I'm still very skeptical. You know, I think the whole, like, calling it Darwin International Airport kind of feels like he just Googled an airport and he didn't really know what his flight path was. I'm going to look up. Kyle, did you look and see what the flights were? I saw you on your phone.
4:34 a.m. What are you doing up right now, bro?
We were talking about it. Can you see if on April 12th there's a direct flight from anywhere in New York City to Hobart, Tasmania? Because he said it was direct. He said Chicago, New York, Hobart. Right. Well, he said Darwin, and that was why I pressed on that. But anyway, to the cameras here.
At least he pressed a little bit.
But holy shit, you guys, that is insane. I don't know what to think. I'm still skeptical. There are red flags. He doesn't want to show his face. He's a kid from Minneapolis, not from Tasmania. He's there with his dad, but he doesn't talk to his dad much, and his dad doesn't want to do a Zoom because his dad's skeptical of people on the internet. The kid Henry, who's a step removed, who I know is an actual person. It's not like a burner email because I have a phone call with him. He's the one who reached out. I mean, the whole thing is weird and cryptic and bizarre and, of course, very, very strange and skeptical, because that's how these things always are. These photos always look like they were taken with a potato.
Yeah.
The story does kind of add up. My camera team thinks it's legit. I don't know much about photographs, but it sure looks real.
Can you do that?
It's an insane thing.
I don't think you could. Can you check somebody's, like, where they actually, like, can you check who was on the flights? I'm not going to do that, but I don't. Is that a thing that you can do, is check to see who was on specific flights out of those certain areas? And Darwin to Hobart. Yeah, I mean,
it's an insane thing that's happening.
But that's not what he claims.
I'd love to get your guys' input. Please leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think this is real, if you think this is legit, or if you think Zach is trying to pull a fast one over on me. I'd love to get the input of the masses, and we're going to take this to the next level, see if we can flesh it out, and let's hope it's a real thylacine, because I sure do. I sure do. Oh, my God.
At least he's skeptical.
I want to believe. I really, really want to believe.
And I think,
but it's got to be a hoax. Like, how else could you do something? I don't know.
That's we're all thinking the same thing here. I think that everyone seems to have the same sort of idea. They don't like the internet. How did they find him? Well, it was his friend. Remember, his friend was the one who reached out.
But then, yeah, these things happen. You know, like, it's not the weirdest thing for him to be like, yeah, this actually happened. So, I don't know. My gut tells me it's some kind of fake, because I'm so skeptical. But I also kind of like that he wasn't just like, here it all is, you know, like, I want to make a big thing out of it. Like, he was a little I don't know, man. It's so hard.
Yeah, I mean, he seems indifferent. Like,
it could be a prank, but I doubt it, to be quite honest with you. Like, because if he's not giving his information out there, how would he be getting views out of it?
Just doesn't really care. He's like, yeah, this happened. Like, I don't really want credit for this.
Which is a weird way to be if you're faking it. Right? If you're faking it, you're either like, no, I'm not showing my face. Leave me out of this. Like, I just want.
I don't think that. I mean, as much as you could say that, you know, for that whole thing with the thylacine bone before, I don't think Forrest would fake something like this. I think he's being legit with all of this right here. I don't think he's faking it. What do you think of what I said a bit earlier is a good idea? Which bit? What did you say a bit earlier? About somebody going and capturing it? Is that what you said? I don't know. I don't remember. Dancing on the grave of the thylacine. Nah.
You to
I mean,
look
it
like
could
an
be
asshole,
fake. It definitely could be
you're
fake.
like, look at me.
I don't think there's any way to prove it unless you have the metadata.
He's like, I just don't want to be plastered all over the internet. Yeah.
Which makes sense too, because his dad seems to be the same way.
Right. Oh my God.
Friend
could just be like a pure skeptic of the internet. Like, he's an awkward dude. His dad obviously doesn't want to be on camera. He doesn't like the internet. He just seems like kind of shy and, like you said, like.
But that's the thing, is like, they kind of do look real in some ways, and in some lights they don't. Like, it's hard to tell with the way the photos were taken. That's the worst part of it. It wasn't taken during the day. It was taken at night on an older camera, so things get grainy and things get weird. And some of it looks good, some of it doesn't. But it's kind of hard to tell, because, like, if it was a video, that would make things so much different. I wouldn't want news just the checking for the fauna of the... Yes, probably. I mean, I'm assuming that he said it was an uninhabited area. There's probably plenty of prey and stuff for it, but again, I mean, he just, you know, he says that it was an uninhabited area. Maybe he lives in the city and any amount of trees in an area looks uninhabited, so I don't know. I do know that coyotes can live in the middle of the city, so, like, what is truly, you know, not a good area for a small population of medium-sized carnivores? I don't know. I think the pictures are convincing, but he is not. He needs to prove the flight. Yeah, the flight part. If he needs to show proof of that for sure.
Yeah.
But the way that he can just say these things and make this full story,
even like do the sound and everything, right?
Yeah,
like
He
wasn't
just
like,
moaned a
I'm
little
not gonna
bit.
do it. You know, that's like if you're really. I don't know,
There,
it's
that's
hard,
what
man.
sounded
I,
like.
I think his personality.
That doesn't.
means,
That's not
like,
convincing to
him
me.
not wanting to show his face and him being that kind of a shyer guy. You know, it just kind of it adds up a little bit. I think, and him recalling like, yeah, this is when it came towards us. Okay, now this is when it turned, and then, you know, that was running along the fence. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It sounds good.
I mean, like, I'm an outgoing guy,
Yeah.
I think, and
You
if I'm
need to
telling a
take
story
it.
that's fake, I would not be able to make.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's.
You'd stumble more. You'd be like,
Yeah, it was very matter of fact. Like, this happened, and then that happened.
I don't know.
And then
I'm
Pretending
with you.
like
I
we
think
know
if
when
I was
someone's
telling a
lying
lie,
is
I'd have a
probably
hard
not
time
good.
just like being like, yeah, this.
Trying to like we can go back and forth all day on what we think is true and what we think is not based on the evidence, you know, and how he talked and all that. But the things that completely don't make sense are the things you need to really criticize. Like the flight thing is the biggest part. If he can prove the flight thing, the rest of it, I can believe. I can believe the rest of it. Telling a story is difficult. Some people do things differently. When somebody is calling me out for something, even if I didn't do it, even if I'm not lying, I will laugh because I'm under the pressure. I will smile. That's just my first reaction to things. And people will think I'm lying. And it's just like, bro, I don't know what to tell you. Like, that's the way I do things. So a lot of people think I lie whenever I'm being pressured. It's just because when I get pressured, I smile and I'm like, are you kidding me? Invasive species, or more specifically, the lack of them in that area could be a sign of it's a real or fake. That's very true. Well, the info he said is available on Wiki about size. Yeah, true. But like, that's the problem, is that if it is really there, like, what are you gonna do about it? Like, if he says the right size, you'd be like, well, so you could just search that on Wiki. Well, if he said the wrong size and be like, well, that's not the actual size, you wouldn't say the Wiki part. So him having that information after the call, he's like, I can't believe I didn't check the flights. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. If he can prove the flights, which I doubt he's ever going to do, if that is provable, then everything else, then I believe him for the most part. I believe him. If the flights are real, all of my doubt pretty much goes away, to be quite honest with you. If those flights are real. If they're not, or they never come out, I'll always have this, I don't think so. I don't think this is real. That's it. And or the metadata. The metadata is another one. If we can get the metadata and we can get the flight logs, if both of those can be proven, or at least the metadata part. If the metadata can be proven, the flights, I can kind of get away with that. But if both are proven, then all my doubt goes out the window, 100%. If those two things are real, and like they prove it and corroborate it, then yeah, I believe him.
This, you know, I'd be like, oh, well, I don't know, you know, like I'd be like, ugh, like I'd be like, feel like I'm caught in a lie.
Yeah, like when you ask, where were you when you took this photo? He snapped right to it.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
I was here, my dad was here, I was holding the phone this way. Like, I wouldn't have anything to say if I made that up.
Right.
And it seems like the story all lines up. At least when they were there, taking the photos, it all makes sense.
And what are the odds, right? Like I said, it's like a 1 in a zillion. Like,
Yeah.
there's this kind of dorky kid from Minneapolis with his
Dorky
dad,
kid.
who he doesn't talk to
Or
a lot,
direct
visiting
flights, he said it
family,
was
and he
direct.
pulls over to help rescue a
We don't
dog.
forget
Thing
way
sitting on
over.
the side
Yeah.
of the road.
Right.
Very true.
That's how it happens, though.
That's how it happens.
Yeah.
Me. Now what? I got to get this over to Nick Mooney.
Yeah.
He's one of the best people to look at it. And you guys think, so you guys are the experts when it comes to photos and stuff. The only thing I saw, like, look at this one quickly. I'll show you guys this. This last one is the only one to me that looks like a drawing.
I don't
The
know.
phones look
That
like
one
that?
looked really
They-
good.
If it's zoomed in with very low light, it
Gets that grainy.
It gets super grainy.
Especially in older iPhones.
But that's the
Especially with
clearest
older
one,
iPhone,
though.
And if you like maybe brighten the photo a little bit, that can add a bunch of grain to it.
Yeah. And
That
then,
is the
iPhone
clearest
checks
one,
like,
though.
to me, that one looks legit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The angles and the shadows and the
I thought this one's pretty. This is the worst
Oh, I
one.
haven't even seen that.
Oh, you guys haven't seen this one?
No.
no.
I don't know why Liam didn't put it in the box, but I'll shout at him later for it. So,
seen
He
that.
says we have
Henry,
dingoes
who's,
or feral
you guys
cats.
know who he is now. He's the guy who reached out. Who's
I
Zach's
think they
friend.
might have. I think they have
Said,
feral
you know,
cats, but
this
they
is
don't
when we
have
were first
dingoes.
talking to him. He's like, "This is so cool. My friend has a new image to show you that I think he just forgotten to send me. I don't know how the hell he forgot because it's amazing, blah, blah, blah. And I brought this up. I should have asked him what happened. Like, why wasn't that photo included? But that one looks pretty bullshitty to me. That's the worst of the group.
That's the worst. It looks kind of cartoony.
Like, where's his nose, too? What's going on with the nose there?
Right.
It could just be blending in.
Yeah.
You're right.
Is also, like, is this disconnected? Like this area right here, it looks a little disconnected.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it kind of does.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
It's so hard to say. But I mean, I've also personally seen things on trail cameras and taken photos with my iPhone that I look back and I'm like, oh, this looks like a stuffed animal. Like, it looks like dog. You know, I don't know what it is. And this one does look like dog. The other ones look so good. So, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it looks great.
I mean, so you guys were saying maybe he drew it. I don't know how you draw this eye shine.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I don't know anything about art, but, like, that's, like, reflection.
That looks really good.
Yeah, that's a hard thing. Like, I don't care what yellow marker you have or anything. Like, that's pretty hard to get that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a very good
That
photo.
one really looks like eye shine.
Yeah. It looks good. Yeah, I mean, the reason I suggested that it might be drawing was just because it's like, what other option could there be?
True.
Right, it's not AI. You checked all the internet sources, right?
It's not on the internet.
It's not on the internet. It's
And
not AI.
that's the very
art, 'cause
important part.
I've tried to do Thylacine AI.
Yeah, I don't think it's AI. If it's not on the internet, they're original photos. Whether he faked them, which I just don't think. I don't know. I think that if you were just faking them, that you probably wouldn't add the grainy stuff in there as well. Honestly, it's very weird.
AI art, and it looks terrible.
Yeah.
And I feel like if these photos were fake, they would have been seen by professionals already. Like,
Right.
You would probably know about these photos and know of them being like frauds.
Right.
And the fact that they're not on the internet anywhere, they kind of just came into existence a couple weeks ago and nobody's ever seen them.
Yep.
Has some weight to it. Like,
Yeah, it is a good way to
You know
throw
what else
people
is
off, so
funny,
that
too?
might be
Like,
part of it.
You guys told me before the call, you're like, the only thing maybe it could be is like a drawing, like an artist rendering. And then I was like, are you a pretty good artist? He's like, yeah, I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
I was like, if he had drawn him, he'd be like, no, I'm really
Well,
bad
I
at
wanna
art.
see the
Like, I
picture
can't
of the
draw
turtle.
anything.
Yeah,
You know, like,
Where are
feel
his
pretty
turtle
good. He's like, "No, I'm
pictures?
pretty
You
good."
should have
Yeah,
seen
I'll send you a picture of a turtle.
what
like,
kind
you
of
know.
pictures,
I was like,
if he's-
"Yeah, I don't need that, but
Yeah.
He's like, I could draw turtles very well. You want to see me draw a turtle? Here, I'll draw you a turtle real quick. Okay? This is my turtle. This is my turtle. There's my turtle, guys. You see, I drew a turtle very well. I love turtles. If he did that, his turtle just looks like a thylacine.
all right. Well, let's get this thing edited, and I'm gonna send it over to some people before we release it, and let them look at it and give some input. And we just have to be really selective with where this goes and how we do it.
Very interesting.
All right.
Very interesting. I would say overall, I can believe almost all of it. The thing that puts it in the doubt is definitely the flights. Flights are a big part, and then the metadata. If both of those can be proven, I believe it, 100%. If those corroborate, marsupial turtle, nice. If they can't, or that information never comes out, this will always be highly doubted. To me, at least, but we'll see. Well, thank you guys for watching. I got some stuff to do. I could use the bathroom, all that good stuff, you know, stuff that you guys want to hear about. Thank you guys for watching, seriously, and I'll probably be on live later. So, if you're here right now, make sure to join the Discord. That's in the description below. You can see the link to the Discord. And if not, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff on the other videos. And yeah, make sure to subscribe. And flying to different messes up metadata. I can understand that, but you can kind of get the, you know, if it's around the same time period, you can definitely tell a little bit more for sure. But all right, see y'all on the next one. And yeah, the sharks, yes, I will do some video stuff on sharks 100%. I mean, I try to talk about them, but I'll definitely go a little bit more depth into what they do. So, all right, see ya.